So we will not waste time. Let's learn the IP address. But before learning IP address, you should know how IP address like evolved or किसने उसको बनाया. Okay, so this batch I'm going to take in mixed language. I'll going to like don't worry if you understand Hindi, definitely you can also understand this. तो हिंदी इंग्लिश में मिक्स रखूंगा, don't worry. Okay. So guys, first of all, you need to learn about one company or organization that is called INA, Internet Assigned Number Authority. Okay, just search this and you will be getting one PPT or PDF document. Just search IANA. What is IANA? Internet Assigned Number Authority. Okay, so I'm not directly starting subnetting. You should understand what is INA and why it is like started IP addressing and all. Okay, let's back to some the okay. So what is INA? So it's Internet Assigned Number Authority. Very simple. Okay, so INA is actually operated by ICANN. Okay, and this is another organization which is a non-profit organization. And what INA do? So INA is taking control of three things: domain names, number resources, and protocol assignments. Okay, so means all domain names, like if you buy any domain name like google.com, facebook.com, so this is called domain, and this all controlled by INA. Number resources like IP addresses will be also controlled by INA, and the protocol number like FTP port number 21, simple mail transfer protocol port number is 25, all this also controlled by INA. So please remember what is INA. So INA is a very big organization which controls domain names, protocol number, and number resources. Okay, so this you will not get in any book, definitely. So what is number resources? Like if IP address, if we talk about IP address, तो number resources में IP address आते हैं. Okay, so in IP all version 4, version 6, so this is what we call IP address, right? And one another address comes autonomous system number. If you learn BGP or some kind of this protocol, then you will able to understand. Okay, it's like advanced topic. If you are beginner, like if you have not done even your CCNA, so just it's like a number where every company have their own number. Okay, it's like a company unique number, you can say that. And another is internet protocol address, which is available in two address, version 4 and version 6. तो वर्जन 4 और वर्जन 6 सुना भी होगा आपने, दो तरह के आईपी एड्रेस होते हैं, ठीक है। और एक ये ऑटोनोमस नंबर होता है जो कंपनीज यूज करती हैं। ओके, so let's talk about, so धीरे धीरे what is happening, IP version 4 is actually like getting exhaust, मतलब खत्म होते जा रहे हैं धीरे धीरे. So IP version 4 is getting exhaust, so this is why IPv6 is also in trend. Most of the big companies are using IPv6 also nowadays, like Jio, Reliance Jio is using IPv6. Okay, so IPv6 is a very big number, but here this workshop is for IP version 4 strictly because we need to learn the subnetting, because 80%, 90% companies are still using IP version 4. But I'm going to conduct another workshop maybe after a few days for IPv6, maybe, I'm not sure. But let's complete this first. Okay, so now what is INA? So I told you INA is Internet Assigned Number Authority, right? So INA has five or another organization which is called ARIN. So these are called RIR. तो INA के छोटे छोटे डिपार्टमेंट्स हैं, so जिसको हम RIR कहते हैं. So INA has subdivisions called ARIN, RIPE, APNIC, LATNIC, one another. This is LATNIC. The PPT is wrong. See, INA PPTs are wrong, man. What is happening? So another is ARIN, AFRNIC. Yeah, AFRNIC. So what is this? So every big organizations, means all countries we INA can't handle. So this is why INA divided into different continents. Okay, so you can see APNIC, that is Asia Pacific Network Information Center. If you want to buy IP address, you will not buy from directly INA. Okay, so I told you who manages IP addresses, all DNS entries, all protocol number, and all IP addresses managed by INA. Okay, so Erin, Lacnic, Afrinic, Ripe, Apnic. Okay, so this is Asia Pacific Network Information Center. You can check one by one. Apnic. So if you are from India or from any other Asia country, you have to buy the IP address directly from Apnic. So you can see Apnic, Asia Pacific Network Information Center. So this is in Australia. So they have office in Australia. So now if you want IP, you can see make a payment, get IP. Okay, so when you get a broadband connection, when you get internet connection, you don't pay to Apnic. Why? Because your service provider is already paid the fees. तो जब आप ब्रॉडबैंड घर पर लगवाते हो तो आईपी का पैसा नहीं देते आप, है ना? बिकॉज आईएसपी अपना आईपी आपको दे रहा है. सो आईएसपी इज गिविंग यूर हिज आईपी एड्रेसेस टू यू. दिस इज व्हाई you don't have to get from Apnic. But if you are a very big organization, अगर आप एक बहुत बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है, if you are a very big organization, you need more than 256 IP address. If you need more than 250, 256 public IP address, then obviously you have to buy it from Apnic. Clear? Yes. अगर 250 से ज्यादा आईपी चाहिए तो Apnic से लेने हैं. 50, 10, 20, 50 चाहिए. So if you want 10, 20, 50 IP address, you will buy from ISP. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
good.
clear.
Okay, so you have to be a member. Then like there is a fees. It's not free. Okay, so start your application now. So there is a fee. So you can check what is the payment mode, how to get IP address and all. So you can see all the details here. So generally 250 IP address is approximately 500 Australian dollars every year. तो $500-600 हर साल आपको पे करना होता है IP address if you want 256 or some IP like that. Okay, so that is overview. So this is called regional internet registries. If you are from America, you will buy from America registry internet numbers. If you are from Africa, that is Latin America. Sorry, Afrinic is for Africa. This is for Latin America, and this is for Europe. Okay, so you can check one by one on Google, and you will come to know. If you want IP from RIPE, then definitely you have to go to RIPE Network Coordination Center. So if you are from Europe or any country in Europe, you have to buy it from here. Okay, so all are 5 RIR. So let's move on. Okay, so IP address, and after that INA also maintain the DNS numbers. So the domain structure is like that. Root means all the big numbers are inside this root something. So you can see there are two numbers which is called CCTLD, country based top level domain. TLD means top level domain, and .com, .travel, this is for global policy. Okay, suppose you buy .com, this comes under global policy. And if you buy .uk, .in, .government, .education, so these are like country based specific. Okay, so who operates? INA operates this global policy numbers like .com, .travel, .net. So all these domains are operated by INA, managed by INA, but all .uk, .brazil or .in all are controlled by countries. Okay, all are controlled by country DNS servers, not by INA. So INA is a very big organization again. Okay, so this is all basics things I'm telling you. Might be you will not get directly. I'm showing you from the INA. Okay, it's like very big organization, and you can still download this PPT also. So मैं chat में link डाल देता हूँ जिसको ये समझना है, ठीक है? Yeah, so we will definitely come to subnetting. Don't worry. Okay, and protocol numbers like the protocol number FTP and all these protocol numbers are also assigned by INA. Okay, port numbers or these numbers also assigned by Internet Assigned Number Authority.
Sir, registered port number is also assigned by INA.
Yeah.
Okay.
All registered ports are registered by INA only.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this is all. Now you come to know like what is INA. ठीक है, समझ आ गया ना सभी को?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So let's talk about IP address now, because IP address is managed by INA. ठीक है, तो तभी मैंने INA के बारे में बताया because IP address is all managed by 𝐈NA. This is why you should understand what is 𝐈NA. And when you will be going to join any company as a network engineer, cloud engineer, system engineer, Linux, whatever, so you should know like how to get IP address, how IP address works. This is why I have explained you. So what is IP address now? So IP address is a unique identifier. मतलब एक unique ID है हर एक device की. So it's like a unique identifier. Every device in this world needs IP address to talk with another device. Okay. So like if you call someone, suppose you are calling from India to Australia. Okay. You need a country code, then again a national code, then you type the number. So same like you dial someone and the another person get a dialed ring, right? So so that you guys can talk to each other. So same like IP address is a unique identifier like internet identifier, but full form is IP address. Okay. IP address. Okay. So all internet routing system, all internet devices works on IP address. So let's talk about in short. So what is IP address? It's a very big number. So it is available in two variants, IP version. मैं थोड़ा बड़ा कर देता हूँ स्क्रीन को. हाँ. So and guys, I don't actually read PPTs. This is not my style, but still it's very good informative PPT. So let's understand. So now you can see IP version 4 is 32-bit, which comes around 4 billion addresses. But this is almost exhausted. And now IPv6 have almost 340 billion IP address. You can't even count that. It's a very big number. Some people call this undecalion also. बहुत बड़ा number है undecalion भी कह सकते हो. So now what is happening? Internet has very big routers. Okay. All internet has a very big routing table. तो हमें IP address क्यों चाहिए? Why we need IP address? All internet has a table called global routing table. It is also known as BGP table. There is a protocol which is very famous, BGP, Border Gateway Protocol. So you can understand in a very simple language, internet has a table called global routing table. And when you announce your routes, what is announced? You can see there is a small green color circle with red line border. Just see the downside. ठीक है, तो मैं यहाँ हाँ ये वाला. So you can see here, suppose this is your company and you have few servers, like you have you are a company like Facebook or any company, or maybe you are yatra.com or railway.com or any website, you name it. Suppose you have your servers, so you have to share your IP address. You get this IP address from where? Appnik. So from where you bought this? Appnik, and you are going to announce, you are going to share your IP addresses with global routing table. Why? When you announce this 202.1.2, so this is IP address. When you announce, then whole internet will come to know that you have some servers. Okay, you have some servers. तो जब आप अपने आईपी एड्रेसेस को ग्लोबल राउटिंग टेबल में डालते हो तभी पूरी दुनिया आपको एक्सेस कर सकती है. This is called routing. When you announce, so how to share your routes to internet, you have to use a router. Okay, so in short, you are going to push your information to a router, then router is going to share your information to the global internet. So you can understand like this. So you push from one router and it will go, because internet is a network of network. So what is internet? Internet is network of networks which are managing global routing table. All big companies routers have global routing table. This is why if you take Airtel connection, if you take Jio connection, you can open google.com, facebook.com. So few sites are blocked because they have their own internal firewalls. So this is IP version 4 internet map. Almost it is exhausted and it is a old PPT. So still you can understand ये बहुत ज़्यादा exhaust हो चुका है. Okay. Okay. So remember, IP addresses are not domain names. So domain name is your website name, like google.com, facebook.com, that is domain name. And IP address is your like 202, any number is called IP addresses, right? 101 dot any 4 decimal number, if you have seen somewhere like 192, 168, तो वो एक IP address होता है. And when you see any open website like google.com, facebook.com, that is domain name. Okay, so that's all. So you can see, where do IP addresses come from? IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force. What is IETF? You can just Google it also, and I'll show you also. IETF stand for Internet Engineering Task Force, which is founded in 1986. It is mainly made for its open standard organization, which develops and promote internet standard. तो एक बड़ी organization है ये, जो प्रमोट करती है इंटरनेट प्रोटोकॉल्स को, इंटरनेट की चीजों को. ओके, सो दैट इज IETF. Then they give to INA. So then after that I have explained, INA gives to regional internet registry, then it gives to service providers or any company, and then user gets the IP address. Yes everyone, any question? समझ आया फ्लो कैसे IP address मिलता है हमें?
Yes, all good. Thank you.
Yes, sir, got it.
Okay, good. Okay, let's move on. Okay, so when INA started, right? So just it's like a funny story. Only one guy used to manage the IP addresses. If in 1981, if you want to get any IP address, port number, protocol, then on the website it's like, please contact John to receive a number assignment. So that is like long back, 30 years back, 30, 40 years back almost. Okay, so only one person who used to manage the IP and protocol numbers. Then slowly users are increased, routing tables are increased. This is why they have divided the network into different regional internet registries, and this is what we call internet now. Okay, so INA, so you have like many service providers are getting a lot of routes. Okay, this is also called CIDR. I'll explain that CIDR. So let's start. It's better, let's start the IP address now. So IPv6 is a very big number. You can assign IP address to, just hold on guys, let me, yeah, so IPv6 is a very big number. Like you can give IP addresses to any object in this world. तो आप IPv6 इतना बड़ा नंबर है, आप दुनिया के हर ऑब्जेक्ट को IP एड्रेस दे सकते हो. IPv6 is very big number. Okay, thanks. Okay, so this I was discussing INA. So now let's understand how INA divided the number. Okay, so first of all guys, please open your notebooks. जैसे स्कूल में बोलते थे, please open your notebooks. Decimal to binary. Let's understand what is decimal to binary. Okay, just complete these 3 days workshop, you will be mastering subnetting, I'm sure. So decimal to binary. Okay, so what is a decimal number and what is binary? So whenever you see IP address like this, so this is a decimal format. So this is a decimal format. And when you see any number like 101101110 something like this, so this is called binary number. So this is called binary number. So tell me, your computer understand decimal or binary? So obviously
Binary.
Binary, right? Good. So now we have to understand first how computer understand your IP addresses. So to understand this, so everyone knows that from school days also that, so you have 2 digits 0 and 1 in binary, yes or no? So 0 or 1 ही होता है ना binary. So this is also called machine language or something like that. So it's like binary. So now, so these are 2 numbers. So this is why in IP address we we always use power or base of 2. We always use base of 2 because these are two numbers. So this is why we always take two number. So now you can understand. So this is IP version 4. It is divided into four parts. So IP version 4 is how many bits? 32 bits. What is bits? 0 and 1 is known as bits. So it means your IP version 4 is a combination of how many bits? 32, 0 and 1s. Okay. So now an IP address is divided into four parts. तो IP version 4 32 बिट का होता है, 32 बिट का होता है और इसके चार पार्ट्स होते हैं. Okay, IP version 4 is 32 bits. It has four parts, which is called octet because every block is of 8 bit. 8 bit bits, you can say that. 8 bits, 8 bits. And if you calculate 8 into 4, you get 32. Okay. So now to understand decimal to binary, okay, so first of all you should know why we are learning, because we should know how to get the binary. Okay, then we will be able to understand how Aina divided the number. So 8 bits. So how we represent 8 bits? So we represent 8 bits with the power of 2 because your 0 and 1 is 2. So we always use power of 2s. So how to represent 8 bits? So to the power of 0, to the power of 1, to the power of 2, to the power of 3, to the power of 4, 5, 6 and 7. We will not write to the power of 8. Why? Because we started with the to the power of 0. Right? And if you check the table, to the power of 0 is 1, 2, to the power of 2, just double the value, 8, to the power of 4 is 16, to the power of 5 is 32, to the power of 6 is 64, and to the power of 7 is 128, and to the power of 8 is 255. Okay, to the power of 8 is 255. So you can write these values here, like it's 128. You can write on top also 128, 64, 32, 8, 4, sorry 16 रह गया, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. Okay, so please remember to the power of any number, power of 0 is called 1. Okay. So now how to calculate the number? Suppose you want to get the binary number of 192. So how to get the binary of 192? So 192 का binary कैसे बनाओगे? So you can just count 128 plus 64 is 192. So you just have to on the bit which is called 1. तो आपने bit on कर दी. On means 1 and rest values will be 0 and this will be binary, means your computer understand 192 in this format. Okay, in this format. And after that, if I calculate for suppose 192, after that let's calculate for 168. So 168 would be 128 plus 32 is 160, 160 plus 8, 168 and rest value 0. Okay, so guys tell me what will be the value for 10, and then after that please write in the chat what will be the binary value of 10, and after that give me binary value of 7. Suppose this is IP address, so the binary value for 192 is this, 168 this. Tell me the binary value for 10 and then for 7. Just do it. You have 2 minutes. Okay. Yes. So we are going to plus 8 plus 2, 8. Just see the number here, 8, 2. 8 and 2 is 10 and rest value 0. Very simple. What about 7? 4 plus 2 plus 1 is 7. Rest values 0. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Okay, so this is a decimal to binary. Now the good story, let's understand how Aina divided this number. Okay. जिगर हर लाइव सेशन में आके बस हाय सर लिख देता है आगे. Okay. So how Aina divided the number? So you can just write down the again values. 2 the power of 7 is. So you can write down the number again. So just take into consideration one subnet, one octet. So you have 4 octet. So every octet is like this, not just one octet. तो चारों के अंदर यही होता है, चारों ऑक्टेट आपके ऐसे होते हैं, ऐसी कैलकुलेशन होती है. ओके, so all 4 octets have similar calculation. So now you can see to the power of 7 how Aina divided the number system which is called IP address range. तो मैंने कुछ बैचेस में डिलीवर किया है पहले. So IP address range, how Aina divided the IP address range. So 2 the power of 7 is obviously 128. You can write down 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1, right? So this is the value. So in the first octet, in the first part, you take all 0 and tell me what will be the value. Obviously 0. In the second time, you have to take 1 here, and on 1 you can see there is 128. So rest value 0. तो ऊपर देखो 1 के क्या है. So you can see there is 128 if you take this one only. So the binary of this value, the decimal value for this is 128. And if you take 2 ones, what will be the value? Just plus 128 plus 64.
192.
Yes. Okay, just plus 3 ones. You will be getting 224.
224.
Okay, and then you take 4, and then Aina thought it's enough. I think we should not go because the maximum we can go up to 255.
55.
And before 240 we get 239, right? Before 22 to 4 we get 223, 192, 191, and before 128 we got 127. So this is A class, B class, C class, D class, E class. कौन मारता था रट्टा बताओ मुझे अब.
Great, sir. Great.
Okay, got it now. So this is how Aina divided the classes, and this is how actually we got the ranges. Okay, cool. समझ आया?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any doubt?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Nope.
Okay, good. So let's go further. Now you know how IP address is evolved. Okay, tell me quiz time. Like what is the first step to get the IP address? Who starts the IP address?
Aina.
IETF, Internet Engineering Task Force, then Aina, then RIR, right? Then you get in companies or any network, then user gets, right? So
Yes.
I'll share that PPT with you. Don't worry. You can just check on that. Okay. So now let's go to another thing. Now, if we talk about A class, B class, C class, okay, this is mostly we don't use D and E class because your computer does not support D and E. D class is used for multicasting, like routers using some like if you have done CCNA or not, I don't know. But if a router wants to share their information with each other, mostly routers uses multicasting. Like there is a protocol called RIP. It uses 224000009 something. Okay, EIGRP uses 224000010. So what is this? This is the IP address of some protocols which you learn in CCNA or CCNP, so that routers can share information with each other. So this is called multicasting. So your computer don't understand this language. So this is called multicasting. And E is used for some, in most of the books you will see future use, but from last 20 years all books are saying future. So what future they are talking about? Actually there is no future use. it is actually wasted. तो ये waste हो चुकी है. Why? Because not even a single computer or operating system like Windows machines, if you try to give any IP address above 223, Windows is going to give you warning that you can't use D and E in Windows. Also in Linux, also you can't use a D and E. You can't use in Android phones, you can't use in iPhones. Mostly like all 100% devices, like you can't use D and E. Now tell me, even if we have a E class, how we are going to implement? Because not even the old machines, not even the new machines can't understand E class. So in all IP address, in IP address version 4, even in version 6, you have two components or two parts. Every IP address divided into two parts. One is called the network and one is called host. So if two machines wants to speak with or want to communicate with each other, your network portion should match, then only they will able to share the information. If your network is not matching, it means the computer won't able to communicate. So for example, like your class A has one octet network and rest part is host. So what does it mean? So if you use a class A, which is like the range is like 1 to 126, 0 and 127 is reserved. So if we give IP address like 1.1.1.1, and if you give IP 1.5.7.8, so tell me if they will be able to communicate with each other.
Yes, sir.
Yes, because class A only checks the first portion. This is network, and you can see both the network is matching. Yes or no? The same digit, both the end.
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? दोनों
Yes,
साइड सेम डिजिट दिख रहा है ना. So इसका मतलब ये एक ही नेटवर्क में. But now you understand, right? Because you are human, you can understand my language. आपको समझ आ रहा है मेरा हिंदी इंग्लिश जो भी मैं बोल रहा हूँ, right?
Yes, sir.
But how computer will able to understand that this is my network? So we use a subnet mask. So there is a number called subnet mask, so that we can inform our computer that what is your network part. Okay, so if you write 255.0.0.0, 255.0.0.0, so what does it mean? So it means just 255 means like first 8 bits is it you have to match. तो मतलब शुरू का जो octet है, so first octet 255 means you have to match the first octet. You have to match the first octet. This is how you give IP address to a computer. It's very simple. Okay, so I just started a Windows machine here. So it's very basic how to assign IP. Okay, so in MacBook also you can assign in go to system, and there is a network, and you can see on the advanced part, and go to TCP IP, and here you can give the IP address. You can use the manually IP, and you can assign all your IP, whatever IP you have. So you can see there is a subnet mask here. So this actually tells what is your network part. तो यही आपको बताता है network part कितना है. So let's see the Windows, because most of you are using Windows. So there is a shortcut, directly go to ncpa.cpl. Okay, so you can go to ncpa.cpl, or you can go to control panel. So control plane is like we have in routers. So control panel, network connection. So this is the my Ethernet adapter properties. Click on IP version 4, go to properties, and you can see. So whenever you try to give any IP like 240, so you can see the system is giving you a warning that you can only assign IP from 1 to 223. It means you can only use A, B and C. Okay, ठीक है. तो अगर आप यहाँ पर suppose if I'm going to give 1.1.1.1, and if you click here, automatically system is taking 255.0.0.0. So this is called by default subnet mask.